Good luck.
Alright, our racers are off. Let's see. What are we looking at today? Not a lot of long goals by the look of it. Obviously you can never quite tell at the start of the seed, but I just look around. A few claw blocked goals in row 1. Very questionable with 3 of them, and then the other 2 being randomized. Our racers are going to want to avoid this row. Column 1 is probably the best out of the 4 sides, I would say. Would not be surprised to see someone want column 4. May be hard to actually lock into it, but we have 2 really
200
fast
geo chest.
dive blocked goals. Wraith's one of the easier randomized goals. And Collector's also fairly open once you get late into the seed. Bottom row is pretty bad. The grub goals have synergy, so that's actually pretty doable. Shade Cloak and this goal are both awful though. And 6 map pins is good, but I don't know. I think row 5 is better than row 1. If this is a wing seed. If this is a class seed, it's definitely worse. Then that just leaves column 5. This is an easy goal if Claw and Dreammail are available. And I'm going Womb, I guess. So triple randomized actually kind of sketchy. Kill 4 mimics also has a high item requirement. Then Watcher Knights. It's actually a pretty good goal. 20 grubs is pretty bad. And 500 essence is also bad. So all in all, column 1 definitely the most appealing. I think row 5 the most appealing after that. Though there is a case to be made for row 1, depending on what kind of seed this is. And column 1 could actually be quite terrible if dive is hidden, so that's something to keep in mind as well. It is definitely not guaranteed to be good. None of the rows have a really strong component of easy static goals this time. Now, if we want to look at second lines, well, what's there to say? Row 1 has a pretty appealing second line. 3000 Geo and CG1 are both really easy. 2 Balor, Goem Garpede, also pretty nice. Even 4 Mimics isn't the worst. This is a really nice row. Column 2 by comparison. Mantis Lords is great, CG1 is great. 15 grubs is doable. Galeon requires finding Dreammail, of course, but not the worst. And 5 City of Tears grubs is slow, but if you find Claw, I guess you could do it. So yeah, row 2 a little bit better than column 2, I think. Row 4 is fantastic. 4 guaranteed goals plus blue fun. Yeah, row 4 is the best second line by far, and then column 4 is mediocre. We have the 3 static goals, a claw goal, and then a randomized goal. So maybe a hidden bit of upside to walking into row 5. Of course, the big question is, how do you stop your opponent from sniping you all over the place in row 4? Since it's gonna be really hard to even get any rolls in your home row. Yeah, I don't see an answer to that. I don't think that there's a good play to be made in row 5. That being said though, there really aren't many good choices to lock in to a first goal in the first place. If I had to guess, you guys see someone mark wraiths early on. That'll be found early. Maybe someone else will respond to Watcher Knights. We'll just have to see. Or we find Mothwing Cloak already. Really great first item. Also means our racers will be on fairly equal footing, which is always nice. We won't have to wonder who's going to find Mothwing Cloak 10 minutes early. You'll rack up a huge lead over that. And wings. Xeno choosing not to check Soul Catcher. Interesting. Shaddy will check Soul Catcher. Nice. But yeah, so wings makes all those claw goals I mentioned earlier. Up really in the right hand corner mostly. Was there one down here? Yeah, so this being a wing seed definitely makes claw likely to be later and much less appealing for that reason. So this top right corner is toxic now. I think that gives a really strong incentive to go for column 1, if at all possible. Especially if, an early dive shows up to lock in food farm maybe. Shade Soul at Leg Eater. Meanwhile, looks like just Geo at Soul Catcher, so won't be hurting Xeno too much, though it does mean that he'll be abandoning this VS pickup until he can farm Geo. Meanwhile, it looks like Shaddy is probably headed to the shops. Not a bad idea. They are probably a little less likely to have progression right now than Fungal is, but still a number of items which could save time here. Especially, that all-important dive pickup right now. Interesting routing from Xeno. Looks to be rushing Queen Station. This does kind of abandon the 2 pickups at Mantis Village. Or if he ends up backtracking for them, then it just straight up waste of time, I think. I'm not quite sure about that. I could be wrong. Well, we'll see if Xeno decides to go back into Fungal or onwards into Green Path. Oh, and Shade Cloak already found. Wow. Is Shaddy not going to market though? He is. That is rough for Xeno. As I mentioned before, he's top right corner with 3 claw goals. Regardless of which line he gets locked into, it's gonna be a little frustrating for him if he doesn't get lucky with the randomizer. Meanwhile, Zeno heading back into fungal. So, what's he gonna do? Might be a little thrown off by the shake look like. That's what it looks like. Maybe heading back to Crossroads to find what was in the shops now. Meanwhile, Shaddy made the strange choice to not bench here, I guess. So, that's a little bit of time loss on the shade skip.
Bapanada.
Let's see. I don't think any of our charms were at the map shop. Okay, so Shaddy's gonna go check the 4 items in Resting Grounds. We'll see what those are. Could have very interesting implications with 500 Essence Goal on the board. But yeah, so right now, Shaddy's big priority, I would say, is finding rates to lock into column 1 rather than row 5. And that's also Xeno's big priority. Both of them really want rates, since that is an open goal for both. Zeno has a few more options for randomized goals. You can find Great Slash too. The Great Slash tends to be in a later progression pool. Still, never know. Always can show up early. We have Fluke Nest at the Seer. That would combo really well with that VS pickup, but... Ew! Ew! Oh, that's disgusting. I love it though. Except that means I'm not getting dinner, so maybe I don't want it. Well, that casts this race into a slightly different color, doesn't it? Just to reiterate, look at how bad this quarter keeps on getting for Zeno. Claw at 500, to be clear. So this could take quite a while. Yeah, so 4 goals in the right hand corner, all of which require 500 Essence or Mantis Claw. So if Zeno doesn't find Dream Nail very early, he will be effectively bottlenecked regardless of which line he gets forced into. Fortunately, everything Shay could actually pick up in Resting Grounds was garbage, so this puts us in an interesting place. Shaddy looks to be headed into Crystal Peak. Not a play I'm a huge fan of. With only Wings and Dash, you can get Shopkeeper Ski and Deep Focus. Going in any deeper is really slow for 1 item. So I wouldn't really think that that's the right play at this stage when you have much more item dense areas available. Green Path is better than Crystal Peak right now. and so is Soul Sanctum. Actually, I think both racers could justify doing... Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. I'm blind, actually. This is a great play for Shaddy, because this will lock in column 1 by marking CG1. Yeah, that's... Shaddy making a really powerful play here to lock Zeno into the absolutely atrocious column 5. Zeno doesn't have much of a defense here. I'm not sure he can even find anything in time to stop that from happening. So yeah, really quick thinking by Shaddy. This fight will be a little long without any spells or upgrades, but I don't think it'll give him any trouble. Yep, and Shaddy marks a goal. And CG1 is down. This is a tremendous start for Shaddy. He is going to stay in Crystal Peak, which I think is a questionable use of his time, but the important task of walking into the correct row has already been accomplished. Yeah, I think, in my mind, the correct thing to do here is to rush column 4. Bench flanking Moss Charger is fast, 3000 Geo is fast. With either of those goals, you open up a chance to really capitalize on how awful column 5 is for Zeno. Whereas checking for items in Crystal Peak is something you can do at any time. And they don't even really need items. The only important thing that Shaddy is missing is dive. Dream Nail only moderately important for him compared to Zeno. Shaddy effortlessly pulling off the deep focus skip. Meanwhile, Zeno foraging into City of Tears. We'll see if Zeno opts to kill Watcher Knights. That would be pretty slow with his current equip load. Maybe a bit more viable with a nail upgrade or a Sanctum check. But yeah, Zeno really limited right now. He has to either find Dream Nail, kill Watcher Knights, or collect 20 groves. So exactly one of those is actually possible for him at the moment. And so I think that he may be rushing Watcher Knights because that's all he has. Meanwhile, Shaddy appears to be making his way out of Crystal Peak and come back with Claw. Yeah, this is the downside of that bench, is it puts you very far away from anything. And obviously that lets Shaddy open the shortcut in Crystal Peak, but that's still not a shortcut you can make use of without Mantis Claw. Meanwhile, Zeno engaged in a really long Royal Husk fight. Royal Sentry. I don't know why I always mess up their names, but finally get through it. We'll see which way he goes at the top of this ramp. Oh, as this enemy not cooperating for him. Now we are about to get the full slideshot check out of Shaddy, so that will be quite interesting to see. Zeno is going to head to the left first. Guessing this is Sanctum? No, this is Lem into maybe the nail upgrade I mentioned before. But Shaddy finding dive at Sly, so Zeno really hurting after checking only a Zelda before. We'll see when he finally gets back there, but dive is more important for Shaddy than it is for Zeno, but that's still quite rough because that opens up a lot of goals on Zeno's side of the board. Oh, Shaddy's side. We'll see what Shaddy decides to go for though. Also, Zeno making a really strange play, goes all the way over to Lem to get Geo, then comes back and benches, or save quits back to his bench. And no nail upgrades. We're gonna see a Nail Zero Weaver Song Launcher Knight's fight by the looks of things. We'll see how this goes. Zeno is a Hundo runner. Or he might go into Sanctum still. Indecisive. We're gonna see Watcher Knights. Or not. Far be it from me to tell Zeno what to do. Shaddy, meanwhile, gonna show us these two checks under Resting Grounds. Thanks to that dive pickup. Really fast to come back here with the Stag Station. You know, I really do feel like it would have been a good idea for Zeno to go back and get that VS pickup in Fungal. Or if not that, to simply check what Sly has. Anything is better than doing all of these boss fights with no damage. And you have a really good shot of there being spells or damage charms available early on. Whether at Mantis Village or Green Path or any of those other early movement areas which don't require combat. Meanwhile, Shaddy is going to bench, not Shaddy, Zeno is going to bench outside Soul Sanctum. Very strange play. I can't quite comprehend what he hopes to get out of it. Maybe he's going to go for Elegant Key. He does have the Geo for it. This does mean a very long time in City of Deerso. It basically is saying that he doesn't plan to leave this area until he's full cleared all of Sanctum, Waterways, and Watcher Knights. Or at least that's how I read it. I might be harping on it a little bit, but I think that abandoning Green Path by both runners is not the right play here. For quite fast items, at least with Yeah, with what both runners know. And not to mention good goals for both racers to be attacking. Gome and Garpede for Shaddy. Vengefly King and Moss Charger as well. It's also a goal which Zeno should have his eyes on if he were to make an early Watch Nights play. I just think that makes so much more sense. Well, anyways. Zeno acquires Dive from Sly, and now it's into Crystal Peak, I assume. Or Resting Grounds, rather. Going to immediately capitalize on the dive he found. He will get Dashmaster and some Geo for it. Not exactly ideal. Okay, what is Shaddy doing in City of Tears? Shaddy really not seeming to prioritize goals at the moment. He's heading down into Basin, maybe for the Wings simple key check, or for a Pale War. We'll see. Alright, meanwhile Zeno finally going to check Soul Sanctum. Because he decided to go into Resting Grounds, he won't be able to check Shade Soul while he's here. So that could be a little annoying. You never know, Shade Soul could be Dream Mail. And Zeno cannot afford to miss Dream Mail in wherever its two locations may be. Alright, Shaddy just wanted the Pale Lure. I think that that's a really strange play. I think that if you're going to collect Pale Lure, you get the slower one first. Save that one for later. That's also definitely not the most desirable column 4 goal in Shaddy's position, I would say. Bardoon should be faster and include more items along the way. But who knows? It's a decision by the runners. Alright, first check of Soul Sanctum is Fury. In other words, not what Zeno was looking for, I suspect. Zeno at slightly low HP for the Soul Master fight. I can't imagine this going wrong for him, but it is always worth noting. He'll probably get a full refill though, after quitting out after the fight. Down to 1. And He does opt to heal. I'm afraid we will have to revoke Xeno's speedrunner pass for that. Healing on Soul Master. That's not acceptable. Alright, a second check of Sanctum. Oh, meanwhile, looks like Shaddy will get at least one nail upgrade, maybe two. Sprint Master. So that would be a really nice goal if Shaddy opts to go that way. Oh wait, that's a goal for Xeno too, in Reserve. I forgot that Xeno had also gone into Resting Grounds. So definitely a strong possibility at the moment if Xeno can get to oh, that's unfortunate. A strong possibility for Xeno if he can get out of here and get to Watcher Knights before before Shaddy does his Soul Sanctum check. Alright, Shaddy is spending the Pale Lore. This is going to basically give up that goal in Column 4. And obviously 3 Pale Lore is doable, but it's a much less attractive goal. And just Geo in the 3rd chest, so Soul Sanctum had a single goal, but in terms of progression it was a bust. Shaddy not going into Soul Sanctum, as it turns out. He may be dipping for Elegant Key. Or Lantern, rather. Very interesting. I'm not quite sure what he's planning on doing that would require that. Maybe Descending Dark? Maybe Deep Nest? I don't think either of those are like high priority checks at the moment for him, but yeah, maybe he just wanted to lock in 3000 Geo while he had the chance. Meanwhile, a little bit of indecision out of Shaddy, and it does appear he is heading into Crossroads, maybe into Green Path, maybe into Fungal. Who knows? Oh, I mean, I didn't want to suggest that Deep Nest wasn't high priority for Shaddy, because it is. And keep in mind, Goman Garpede and Galleon are on his side. Though it is worth noting that he can't do Galleon yet, so in that sense the Deep Nest play is a little premature. There is not any Mantis Lord synergy with Deep Nest either, since that route does not work without Claw. Alright, Shaddy's gonna get to buy his Vengeful Spirit here, I believe. I think it was fairly cheap. No, I was blind. That was extraordinarily expensive. And is Shaddy dipping out of Fungal Wastes immediately? That's questionable. Will we ever find what's at Mantis Village? Okay, I see. He's benching and then doing the go check. That's fair. That's fair. Zeno having a pretty straightforward Watcher Knight's fight thanks to having died. Weaver Song also helps a little bit. Yeah, this is a pretty decent equivalent for this fight. There could be much worse, I think. Though it is worth noting he's on 1 HP and he dies. Fortunately, he did take this this bench outside Soul Sanctum, so he got a good respawn position from it. I love counting how many times people spawn at that bench. I think that's Zeno's 3rd or 4th time. It's the kind of bench which just sucks you into it because you can't escape. And it's not like the good kind of sucks you into it, like the Deep Nest bench, where it's actually really good for organizing an area which branches in a lot of different directions. It's the really bad kind. Like where you think, man, I really wish I could be at a stag station. And then instead, oh, I'm in the middle of City of Tears. You know what else is a good safety bench? There's this bench right below the Watcher Knight's fight. And if you take that bench, when you die to Watcher Knights, you'll respawn close to the boss room. That's what I've heard at least. I don't take that bench. Zeno may be a little tilted because he is not handling this refight well at all. I think that he got to the last round on his first attempt. Oh! He almost got backstabbed, but he gets saved by a Weaverling. So that was a Galaxy Brain play, not by Zeno, but by the AI of the game. Give credit where credit is due. And it looks like Zeno has this well in hand down to the last night. Very unlikely to die at this point. And Zeno does in fact survive. We'll see which of his reserve goals he opts to mark. He marks both of them. Okay, so Zeno is now finally on the board. This is a good chance for him to stage a comeback. He's gonna need luck though. He cannot win without finding Dreammail. And Shaddy will still have a faster side of the board for the rest of his goals. Yep, if I were Xeno, I would be added right to green path. Shaddy abandoned the Benchfly King Moss Charger goal. So now you capitalize on it. I didn't catch what was that Dash Master, but Stalwart Shell. Oh, that's kind of lame. Alright, Xeno headed into Green Path. I think it would be a little faster to come from Queen Station since he took the time to open it, but the water entrance isn't the worst, I suppose. Meanwhile, Shaddy defeats Manta Swords. This is a goal for him, though not a goal he can mark, unless he goes and finds something quickly now. Either Wraiths or heads off to Waterways. Yeah, I don't think the Manta Swords play was good, though, like I said before, I wouldn't have rushed 3000 GL. I would have checked Green Path first and gotten the Moss Charger goal. Wraiths is very likely to be early. Very likely. Not guaranteed, but that's a goal which, if Shaddy can find it, will speed up a lot of things for him. Column 4 is kind of slowish, I think. It's not awful though. The main issue with Xeno faces is that it doesn't really matter how bad the column is because he can only pick 2 goals off of it in the first place. So, like, yeah, he could get the three more goals out of column 4, but he can't get 3 more goals out of column 5, so it's a moot point. Oh, that sucks for Xeno. That really sucks. That is what happens when you don't go to Green Path first. If I had to guess, passing through the Skyway where Zod is supposed to spawn when you rescue him may have triggered this. In either way, this is quite unfortunate for Xeno, but definitely something he should have known would be a risk with not going to Green Path early. Now, of course, the Vengefly King goal is not lost to him. However, it will require him to to get about halfway through Coliseum 1, which is, of course, quite a bit slower than the usual Vengefly King fight. Meanwhile, not much turning up at Great Path so far. Goal-wise or bingo-wise. Yeah, if I had to guess for what the Zo trigger is, it's getting far enough into City of Tears, or defeating Soul Master, you know, or acquiring Mantis Claw, or any number of other things. Though in the vanilla game, yeah, I don't mean to say acquiring Mantis Claw, but associated with entering Mantis Village, entering Fungal Wastes, who knows? Regardless, the important thing to take away for Rando is that Zote usually dies if you don't rescue him, so, you know, don't wait 45 minutes to rescue Zote. This is common knowledge. Yeah, Claw is fine. I know I've had seats where I entered Green Path via cliffs and Zote was alive. So, definitely the area hypothesis seems very strong for what Zote's trigger is. A very healthy Green Path so far. We have found Fragile Heart, Joni's Blessing, and Lifeblood Heart. It's a shade Lifeblood core isn't randomized, we won't be able to finish off the trifecta. Well, trifecta. We won't finish off all the health charms in this visit. Alright, meanwhile Shaddy has made his way over to Waterways. We're about to see him take on Fluke Farm. Should be very doable with Nail 2 and Fragile Strength. This is like a, what, like a 19 damage Nail? This is really quite good for Fluke Farm. One shot all of the spawns and defeat the boss herself in 20 hits. Just heal up beforehand, and I really don't expect any trouble. Yeah, really fast fight, of course. You have to keep in mind that this is almost pure nail damage, so this, if you were playing this casually, this is about the best DPS you would achieve, since we all know casuals don't know how to use spells.
Let's put up
Or so we're told, as speedrunners. Nonetheless, the nail build coming out really strong here. I mean, even if, you know, he had bought Shaman Stone, used the spells he had, would be a much slower fight than with Nail 2. Alright, Shaddy, meanwhile, maybe about to head into Green Path on his own. Possibly looking to get his Vengefly King Moss Charger now. It will be really interesting to see if Shaddy's Zo is still alive. Or if Shaddy is going to be disappointed here. Well, Xeno's not going to take any risks. He's going to kill Moss Charger just in case that gold comes up later on. Oh, yeah, Shaddy did get the simple key. I think Shaddy's toast. I think that this is an important life lesson for people. And I think that life lesson has something to do with the Soul Sanctum bench, but I'm not quite sure what it is. And Soul Eater to finish up Green Path. So, all in all, nothing really good. So obviously I stand corrected for advising that our runners go into Green Path for those 4 items, since those 4 items were all garbage. Yeah, if it's alive, it's gotta be something weird like some sort of compound boss trigger. Whereas if it's dead, I think that it's pretty clear it's City of Tears related. Xeno taking a lot of damage on the way to Wraiths. Okay, so we will get to see what's here at Wraiths. If Xeno doesn't kill this, what is it, a Mossfly? With his Weaverlings? This might be a tall order. Yep, Weaver Song just awful in Wing Seeds. Like... I mean, obviously damage is nice, but it just causes so many problems. I mean, you gotta take it off. It screws up shade skips, enemy pogos. The DPS just isn't worth it. I mean, I like Weaver Song as much as anyone else does. I'm just speaking the truth. Also, why did Zito not remove Weaver Song? Did he just give up on Wraiths? That's sad. Okay, but Shaddy's Soda's dead too, so it's looking like the City of Tears play not optimal for this card. Very sad. Alright, so what's next for our players? Vengefly King Moss Charger is dead. Neither runner can get it until they go to Coliseum 1, which I don't think either runner wants to do. Obviously we can search for Great Slash, search for Isma's Deer, search for Balder Shell and Thorns. Column 3 is awful, and that could really throttle this race. Give Xeno the time he needs to find Dreamnail. I think that losing out on Vengefly King is much worse for Shaddy than it is for Xeno. Because all of the searching Xeno absolutely has to do to find Dreamnail synergizes really well with a highly randomized column 3, which shields his column 4 goals, anyways. I also suggested that earlier, that it would be the hallway where Soda appears. Chat was not supportive of me though. Alright, anyways, it does look like Zeno is going to give us another Mantis Village check. Still going to be garbage. Meanwhile, Shaddy's still clearing out Green Path, so lots of tracing each other's footsteps at the moment. But yeah, Bardoon and Nicola 1 is actually a viable play. And of course keep in mind that you don't have to do all of Kala 1 to get to bench flanking, it's a little over halfway, maybe. And I would say that all of Kala 1 is doable without Claw. With Shaddy's 19 nail damage, that actually would be quite doable for him, I think. Though, probably not something he wants to do. I don't know how familiar he is with Kala 1. In order to get to Bardoon, you need Mantis Claw or Monarch Wings. You also need to be well trained in the arts of Primal Aspens. Wow, this has to be the healthiest seed ever. We even have Hive Blood on top of all the other health charms. Yes. The fact that Lifeblood Core isn't randomized is an absolute crime. And it breaks my heart every time we get in this kind of situation where the meme could be strengthened if we had that one extra health charm. So sad. Also, we'll never see our runners have to carefully carry all their Lifeblood cocoons into Abyss. Oh well. Meanwhile, Zeno is going to check Mantis Swords. We know there wasn't anything here, so this is just a little more time down the sink for him. Let's see, what are our best odds for finding that dream nail now? Obviously, Dung Defender and Crystal Heart are still in play. Also, Monarch Wings, both checks in the Abyss, and both checks in Kingdom. All three checks in Kingdom's Edge, and all three checks in Deep Nest. So, out of all of those, I think Kingdom's Edge or Deep Nest is where the value is at the moment. Coliseum Paylor is not viable to Bingo, that's the reward for column 2. Which I really don't expect to see anyone try to do without Mantis Claw. So it definitely should be possible, just extraordinarily slow. Alright, Zeno's the first one out. No, actually, Shaddy is checking something new for us as well, since Zeno bailed out of Wraiths. Alright. Looks like Zeno's headed into Deep Nest. This is interesting, since, as I said before, Shaddy has a much stronger reason to go here than Zeno does. Yeah, actually 4 checks, counting Sports Room, which we also haven't seen. So, Deep Nest play quite strong, just for randomized value. And wow, a vanilla Wraiths for Shaddy. Would you believe it? Well, that definitely helps him out a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot Zeno still has to check his Mantis Lord's items. My bad. So we don't know where Zeno is going yet. See, as I said before, Wraiths tends to be decently early in the logic because it is required for Abyss progression. Still, really, really nice for Shaddy. This makes things much easier for him. Oh wow, did Shaddy never go back and check what was at Mantis Lord's? Weird. That's gonna suck for him because he just lost a goal to Zeno. He's going to feel really dumb when he finds out that he had that opportunity. Well, what can you do? Definitely an advantage for Zeno though. That also opens up Collector down the road for him. Oh, I was convinced Shaddy had checked it and found garbage, so I guess that reflects poorly on my commentary too, but you know, don't fight Mantis Lords and then not check the items. Like, that's such a waste of time. Even for the bingo goal. Well anyway, Sisma Steer, a huge lifeline for Zeno. Does manage to get this nice glitch BOGO, or bug BOGO. And over at Sports Room, Watcher Knight's Geo. Interesting that, yeah, Zeno tried to walk out of there. Not possible without Claw. Realizes and hazard respawns, fortunately. The other really nice thing about Deep Nest at this stage is that both Sharp Shadow and the Weaver's Chest have really good progression values. As weird stuff happens on Zeno's screen, and I suggest you avert your eyes. That was some bad Deep Nest video. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, and he'll have to go all the way back if he wants his Shade again. Well, what I wanted to say was, the randomizer logic is designed to weight progression items, or place progression items in items which have higher, and locations which have higher item barriers. So, the, the Sharp Shadow location, which requires Shade Cloak, or the Weaver's Chest, which requires not just wings, but also dash. Those are both really good checks. So, Xeno could do the backup Shade Skip if he didn't have Weaver's Song equipped. Well, he would lose his Shade, I suppose, so that's not really an option. Well, Shaddy now has the lead over Xeno, by quite a bit actually. Interesting that he's going for the Mimics, since that is extraordinarily far away without Dream Nail or Crystal Heart. But it's definitely an option for him. Down the road. Also worth noting, Shaddy has a lot of grubs. He could actually finish off that goal while he's in Deep Nest, if he wanted to. Might be a little slow to do it that way. But he's really close to 15 grubs. Colo 2 Mimic, not a compelling option. It exists though, I suppose. Alright, Xeno. Will we get this the second time? No. This is a trick which is really easy to psych yourself out of. It's also really slow if you fail it. I would just set up the Shade Skip and give up on the Shade. I think that's the right decision, but maybe not an easy one to make in the moment. Alright, Shaddy layers on another goal. Xeno must be really confused too by the fact that Shaddy didn't mark his Vizier. But, and Great Slash all the way down here. Well, as I was saying before, progression items love to show up deep in Deep Nest, and Great Slash is one of those. Almost always unused, since the only location it opens up is Shellmaster's Glory, but it is a thing that exists. Well, anyways, Shaddy sitting very comfortably now with an 8-3 lead. Xeno's situation is quite dire because he hasn't significantly out-checked Shaddy. Like, he does have the Soul Sanctum advantage, I guess, but even on that, Shaddy has more Waterways coverage, more Deep Nest coverage. I think Xeno needs to rush Kingdom's Edge now, and just really hope that he gets lucky, because if Dream Nail is in Deep Nest, this is over. Shaddy having a lot of trouble jumping. He does get through though. And thanks to his lantern, no dark rooms, really easy path to Weaver's Den. Now what is Zeno going for? He's already beat Watcher Knights. He's already... Is this backtracking for, No, he doesn't have Elegant Key, so he can't do Soul Sanctum. Did he not open the Lem shortcut? Because he definitely bought Soul Relics at Lem. I don't get it at all. And Shaddy coming in here with that, without unequipping his fragile strength. That's a mistake indeed, Nest. Though actually with Nail 2 it wouldn't help. He would still two-shot these enemies. Oh, yeah. City of Deer Scrubs, not possible for Zeno, I'm afraid. So, yeah, that's just a little more time wasted. Maybe feeling a little lost with how difficult Mantis Claw is going to be this seed. Oh, yeah. Shaddy did unequip Fragile Strength. I'm sorry, I was mistaken, but like I said, it doesn't matter because he would two-shot. No, he would actually one-shot if he had Fragile Strength equipped. But yeah, he's not getting this pogo right at all. You have to learn the Weaver Ring, or not Weaver Ring, whatever it's called. Have to learn it higher up before the first pogo. Okay, I like this play from Zeno. This is much more productive than what he's been doing. Yeah, it is worth noting too that Shaddy could do a lot of Wraith spells here to make this much more doable for him. Probably be more helpful than healing, I think. Don't do it. Okay, there he goes. All the way up. He finds thorns, so that is something we're looking for. We have thorns and Spore Shroom now. Still waiting on Boulder Shell. But now that Column 3 goal is much more realistic. But meanwhile, this does make, well, that was interesting from Zeno. Well, yeah, that wasn't the play, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what I was gonna say is that it's a little interesting, no progression in Deep Nest, or no meaningful progression. We do know Abyss is open, Dung Defender is open, Crystal Heart, Monarch Wings. Number of checks are dwindling. Quick Slash, which Zeno just missed, could be something. And Hive Blood could be something too. Shaddy might check it for us, you never know. Of course, a hive blood Dreamnail would be a death sentence for Zeno. He's not getting back to Deep Nest anytime soon, I don't think. Yeah, if you're Shaddy, I think that ramming to Kingdom's Edge and getting Bardoon next is the best play. You can also buy 6 map pins. He has enough Geo even to not have to sell relics or something. Yeah, Zeno is just saving grubs. I think he just desperately wants to get back on the board so he can try and salvage column 4. Zeno did not get anything at Quick Slash because Zeno decided to heal on his way there, and soft blocked without enough soul to keep on diving. It was a very sad moment. Alright, let's see what Shaddy is going to do. Which tram station is he getting off at? Oh, he's going all the way to the right. Let's see, what is Zeno up to now? 14 grubs? 15, I think that says. Yeah, 20 grubs. Such a long and difficult goal, especially without Claw. Alright, Shaddy disappointing us all. Not going to check the hive, but this is the better bingo play because he has a lot of good stuff to capitalize on in column 4. You can always come back to. And, Zeno, I never mentioned it, but Grub Song has been available, I guess. Well, that's really nice for him, for sure. I don't know if that's in logic. It should be, I think, maybe, but well, Dreamnail will make a lot of things possible, and Shaddy's definitely not going to find it there. I don't think. I mean, he could. He has enough grubs. He could check it right now, for all we know, but that would make this really a high praise. Well, we'll see what Shaddy does. If you're Zeno, I think you have to rush 500 Essence right now. That's my thought. Oh, ew, ew, Shaddy, no. Why? Help. So many awful things just happened. He got rid of his good bench in the tram for the Dirtmouth bench. He got rid of his Geo for the Elegant Key. Oh my god. This is like a train wreck. And he's not checking Grub's father. He's gonna save this Grub first and lose like 30 seconds. Well, maybe he'll be able to afford map pimps after this. That has to be a huge misplay though, to not buy them when he had the chance. Well, Shaddy can't feel good about that, knowing that Zeno already has 15 grubs. And so very likely check this. Well, it looks like Zeno's headed towards Elder Who. Not sure this is what I would go for. So I think that like Gorb and Zero are obvious choices, since Zeno wants to get Grimchild anyways, probably. After that, since he doesn't have Lantern, I guess he would do Markov. And, well, maybe Elder Who's fine after all. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That was silly of me. That does require Claw. Order of operations issue. You can't use Gorb to get Claw at 3 now. So with that in account, yeah, you might have to do Elder Who 0. Markov. I don't know what you do for the last one. Whispering Roots. That would be a meme. Could probably get enough out of Kingdom's Edge actually, but you also have Lost Skin as a decent option. But if you're gonna do Lost Skin, why would you waste time on Elder Who? It's really odd to me to see Shaddy committing so hard to 20 grubs, knowing you're at a disadvantage compared to your opponent. I just don't get it. This is very unproductive. Shaddy should have gone right for Galeon once he found Dream now. Shaddy definitely doesn't have this race wrapped up at this point. He does have the 9-4 lead, but he just isn't finishing this. That's how I see it, at least. This is a Bardoon play. I would feel much better, but it isn't. I think he's going to Soul Sanctum, and I think that this is going to give Zeno a giant window to get back into this race. Like, this is like a 10-minute goal, getting the 5 City of Tears grubs while checking everything in City of Tears. Maybe not 10 minutes, but it's long. I agree that getting 20 grubs would have a really strong effect on Xeno, and would be really good for that reason. The problem is, you don't go for 20 grubs after you discover that your opponent sniped 15 grubs in your own cage. Like, if you were going to make that grub snipe, then you make sure you are the one in the lead farming grubs early on. Well, anyways, it's a moot point since...
Bill, mine.
I don't think Shaddy's gonna beat Xeno to it. We'll see. If he does, then that's really good. He'll have taken advantage of Xeno thinking he had that goal safe. You know what would be really nice for this fight? Lucast.
Mine.
Like right now, you could just pump Markov full of Lukes. Did Shaddy get ahead on grubs? Wow, you're right. I'm sorry. I misread the tracker. I thought Shaddy had 12, not 17. So, that is my bad. And kudos to Shaddy for rushing this. Looks like glowing womb for out of Xeno. It better not be failed champ, because that is not available to him. Or maybe this is the mound whispering boot. I mean, that's a play. You know, come to think of it, did Xeno ever check Soulcatcher? Is this the Galaxy Brain Soulcatcher in the mound whispering route play? This would get his 50 essence. Meanwhile, Shaddy about to check what's a quick slash. If Xeno missed something big like Crystal Heart here, or Glowing Womb, that would be quite bad because I don't foresee Xeno returning. This is just such a bad location for him now. We've already seen Soulcatcher, so no surprises there. I'm pretty tempted to say Soulcatcher was just Geo. Shaddy checked it with a Shade Skip early on. Oh, that probably didn't make a huge difference in the long run, but that still sucks for Xeno, missing out on that. Yeah, Dreamgate at Quick Slash, very nice. Xeno getting annihilated by the Vulgar RNG. Opts to quit out at this point. Might be a little faster to get a few more essence orbs, but there's enough in resting grounds to not need to. Shaddy needs to get on the other side of this aspid. It's not going to go high enough. Oh, you get sucked up, so shows what I know. Not going for Markov. I like rushing Bardoon at this point. That's a really easy goal that you want to lock up. You know, secure your position. Or go for the grub too. Now we get to the moment where our runners have to Google where Bardoon is. Yep. Yeah, no speed run goes up to him. It does turn out he is at the top of this room Shaddy is in. No acid dunks required. Might behoove Shaddy to heal though. Okay, he makes it all the way up there. No problems at all. And just in time too, since Zeno's just a few orbs away from 500 essence. Alright, so Zeno very well equipped now, thanks to that. So let's see. If you're Shaddy now, what goal do you go for next? Obviously 20 grubs, he's invested a lot of time into that. I think Alien is also good here. He has 10 goals, so he needs 3 more. Yeah, I'm not sure he has a good option, which doesn't require searching or farming essence. Vent flanking, maybe? Yeah, if he wanted to, he could just finish really quickly with these 3 goals. Don't know if Call 1 is even on his radar though. So these 4 goals are equivalent. These are the goals which we were waiting on Claw for the best part. Pale Lore is also kinda claw blocked for Shaddy, but not really. I'll unstar this too. I just wanted to make it clear earlier that that was a goal which our runners had made unduly unavailable for themselves. Interesting to see Shaddy re-entering Kingdom's Edge this way when he left at Dreamgate. Though I guess he doesn't have Essence still. And he leaves the Dreamgate there, which is also kind of odd. Yeah, going back for the tram, not a bad idea. This is the easiest way back to Galien. Yeah, the nice thing about Shaddy's position now is that he has more or less locked in the win. There are, what, 8 goals left? Zeno has to hold 7 of them to win. That's a very tall order, even with the item advantage. And Zeno does have a substantial item advantage, to be sure. But no path through column 3 at the moment. He needs to do Colo. Killing mimics without Crystal Heart is just a waste of time. Zeno barely surviving the onslaught of mimics. But that is 3 down. Ew. Equipping thorns for Galien. Not my choice. Not the choice I would make. And Zeno bails. He's not going to check Deep Nest, not going to kill Galien. That's interesting. I mean, obviously you can't mark it yet, but it would be a reserve goal. There are only 5 mimics in the game, so it can be an annoying goal to go for, right? Yeah. What are these benches at a Shaddy? Maybe not feeling confident in a Galien fight? For the kill a certain number of enemies goal, it is understood that duplicate enemies aren't allowed. So, for example, you can't farm Soul Warriors in column 3 or Mimics in column 2. That's my understanding, at least. Shaddy not exactly trying to dodge Galien. This is going badly. The bingo will spoil it for us, so Shaddy appears to have won, thankfully. could be funny if both of our runners go to Kahlo at the same time. Shaddy seems to have thought better of it though. He's headed... Oh, barely avoids getting killed by the mask fly. Well, this is interesting. I think Shaddy has a very easy path to victory if he just grinds for Claw right now. But if he follows in Xeno's footsteps and doesn't go for Claw, then he could throw this. It's difficult to really say that though when neither Glowing Loom nor Crystal Heart have been found. Shaddy has a lot of room to win still. I don't see how you could possibly justify Soul Sanctum right now. You know Xeno checked Soul Sanctum. Also, will Shaddy ever realize that he didn't check Manta Swords? The world may never know. The problem is, who knows where Baldur's Shell is? You know, it could be at Nail Master's Glory for all we know. That's never getting found. Never checked. I may know where Baldur's Shell is. I may not know where Baldur's Shell is. It's a mystery, even to me. Alright, Shaddy committing hard to this Soul Sanctum play. It might be that we're going to see a Soul Tyrant kill. That's not exactly optimal for him, but it's possible. Zito quite tilted at this Vengefly King. Or maybe it was just looking down to speed up his game. I mean, you never know. So, Zeno taking a moment to mark this goal, and he is out of Coliseum. That was enough for him. That does also mean no fourth Mimic out of column 2. I mean, that would take several minutes, but it also means that he will have to find Crystal Heart in order to win. Probably. Yes, actually, he will have to find Crystal Heart in order to win. Now let's see, what was that seed? Wow, that was a number. Alright, Shaddy going into the Soul Master fight, healing up first, of course. Interesting. I see. I see, yes. All has become clear to me. Well, anyways, I don't think that'll be an issue. Oh, but it means it's gonna take a long time for this to end. Alright, Zeno snipes 5 grubs, so that's more time wasted by Shaddy. You know, I mentioned earlier that, you know, what it would take would be Shaddy not going after Claw, you know, taking a lot of time, you know, failing to get goals, and that's what we've seen so far. You know, I think that Zeno has a pretty good chance of having the edge if this comes down to all-out, you know, search for the last few items. Yeah, Soul Tyrant is extremely slow, even when you're right there like this. I don't see it as a good play. Personally. Glowing Boom has not been found by either racer at the moment. Okay, Shaddy cleanly getting through the first round of Soul Tyrant. That really high nail damage really coming in clutch for him. Yes, Baldur Shell has been checked, and neither Cliff's location has been checked though. Okay, Shaddy's through. 500 Essence. He is on his way to Mantis Claw now. And this will actually allow him to... No. I was going to say it would allow him to finish with Pale Ore, but he can't mark that goal. So Shaddy's only hope now is to find one of the three items: Baldur Shell, Grimchild, Baldur Shell, Glowing Womb, or Crystal Heart. As long as he gets one of those before Xeno, he should be able to win this. Unfortunately for Xeno, while the Collector Snipe probably seems like the correct play, we know that Shaddy doesn't have the items to do Collector if he wanted to, so Xeno would be better served using this time to search, unfortunately. Yes, I believe Shaddy did kill the 3 Deep Nest Mimics. I believe both racers did. Shaddy very indecisive about his charm loadout. And goes to Resting Grounds to get Mantis Claw. Meanwhile, one of the rarest bosses we see in Bingo, the Collector, about to make an appearance. Yeah, Shaddy's wasting his time collecting this Pale Ore. He can't do anything with it. Alright, Shaddy headed to Dirtmouth, probably to check cliffs. We'll see how this pays out for him. Still seems very indecisive. A lot of stuff is crumbling for him right now. Yeah, the Crystal Peak Mimic does require Crystal Heart. And as far as I'm aware, Collector's health does not scale. So, unfortunately for Xeno, he is having to face a full health Collector. And he is in a scary position at the moment. Just can't find space to heal to save his life. And he does die, unfortunately. Yes, this is not helping Xeno, who has not had a fun race so far. Vanilla Cyclone for Shaddy. So that's cool. Puts us one away from the, Nail Master Glory check, which we all love to see. Oh, and just Vengeful Spirit at Joni's. Not what Shaddy wanted to find, by any means. Would really like to see Xeno Dreamnail Collector heal on these stuns. Make sure it's slow, but I don't like seeing him accumulate damage. And he's on to one. There's like a billion enemies on screen and he dies the second time. This sucks, but no one forced him to equip Weaver Song over Fragile Heart. Or Dash Master Sprint Master either. Like, what the heck is this combat build? Like, literally, I don't think you could pick a worse set of charms for how many notches he has. Okay, what is Shaddy going to do? Queen Station. Ah, this ain't it. Like, what could he even be doing here anyways? He's checked everything except... Did he finally remember Mantis Lords? I mean, that would be something. see. Zeno in rough position yet again. Can't keep up his soul meter to heal to save himself. Yikes. This is not happening for him. You hate to see it, you really do. This is a hard fight. I usually die to Collector when I fight him in Bingo. Yeah, unfortunately for Xeno though, he needs every goal, so... You know, he can't really back down from any challenge at this point. That being said, I'm glad that he has finally decided to change up his charm loadout. Hive Blood will help. He has many better things he could equip in place of Weaver Song, but Hive Blood is a good start. Yep, Shaddy has not had a good strategy for this seed. And the reason why I say that is because he started with a really strong advantage over Xeno, but since the beginning he's made a lot of plays which led to him not getting goals, you know, following in the footsteps of his opponents, based off of information he even had. And I mean, if Xeno dies again, then Shaddy can still snipe this, but this has just costed him so much. This is time when Shaddy could have been exploring areas opened by Claw, and you know, going for those last few randomized goals, which would let him win this outright. Well, we know that's what he needed, but he doesn't, obviously. I think Hive Blood is gonna help Xeno win this, so. Collector is really scary when you can't heal, but it's easy to make the 12-second cycles. I think. If Xeno had stuck to his guns and insisted on the Dash Faster, Sprint Faster build, this would be another story, but I think this race is going to be extended a little bit longer. Of course, I now know where everything is, so I'm able to exercise special disdain for the runners when they don't make the plays which allow me to leave and eat. Okay, Xeno has this on lockdown. Well, Shaddy, look at his bingo board during this fight. Shaddy needs to quit out. He will. Alright, this is good for Shaddy. What's this? Is that the wiki? On Xeno's stream? Wow, I wonder what he was checking. Maybe he looked up the mimics. Let's see, if our runners wanted to end this quickly, I'm not sure which of the 3 spots would be fastest. I think I know, actually. Oh, this might be over soon. I don't know, we'll see. But yes, if Zeno is trying to get the Mimic here in Crystal Peaks, he is going to be sorely disappointed. Although, you never know, it's always possible Crystal Heart could show up at or near its vanilla location. Well, Crumberfly, not exactly what we were hoping for. Taskmaster not doing Zeno any favors in this. Alright, he gets it the second try though. Alright, Shaddy. Can he make it? Great Slash. This is an item that's a little difficult to remember to check after you get Mantis Claw. I usually find. But very doable without Crystal Heart still. Alright, Shaddy's through the hardest bit. And what will he find? Well, it could only be Glowing Woo. So, this is the end of the race. Unfortunately, Zeno engineered a quite formidable comeback. But it was not enough. You know, maybe with 4 fewer deaths to Collector, it might be a different story. You never know. I'm definitely not one to harp on that though, since I definitely can't fight Collector. We'll see over here at Crystal Heart. Not what we were looking for. So, GG to both racers. It's a really fun race, all in all. we go. Let's see, let me mute Zeno. We'll see if our runners want to join for an interview or something.
Hey.
Hello. How did you feel about it?
Actually, it was quite intense, and I really enjoyed. Like, I feel like if I saw this right side, and I didn't want to be locked there. So once I found Shade Cloak, I rushed Crystal Guardian to lock Zeno to the right side because it's awful.
Right.
And yeah, at that point, I was like 80% sure that I will win this. However, Zeno did quite impressive job on coming back.
I just found the crystal heart.
Yeah,
Oh.
It was at the Crystal Peak chest.
Oh, I see.
And
Man, I was so unlucky with item finds.
I see. I was a bit lucky with finding Holy Race and Great Slash, like on my way. But
I actually had a plan. What you said there, Shaddy, you didn't want to be locked into the right side.
yes.
I actually agreed with that, but like with every side except maybe the bottom. So as soon as I got wings and dash, I was like, I can go grab the tram pass and buy 6 map pins from Zelda.
Okay.
And my plan was to lock you out because we had already found 2 progression items, so the odds that there was going to be a progression item in the store was pretty slim.
Yep, and there was Shade Cloak.
Obviously, you found Shade Cloak and locked me into the worst possible situation, and from there I had a really difficult time recovering.
Yeah. But anyway, like, you really great job. I was scared. You sniped my collector.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, also you sniped 15 drops. I had 14, and I was going to get last one.
Yeah, I actually died a collector 3 times.
Oh,
because you know when the jars fall down and they reveal a aspid, the aspid
Yes.
can actually shoot like literally the frame it appears, and I died to that twice.
Also, I was rushing the Vengefly King, but he thought was dead.
Yeah, I know.
Got
I actually went there too and saw he was dead and got really sad, and then I went to the Colosseum and killed him there instead.
Yeah, I was thinking about Colosseum, but I didn't remember which one I have to do, first or second, or even third.
I was actually thinking that I was gonna go Colosseum 2 as well, to get the 4th Mimic. But when I saw how slow Colosseum 1 was, I was like, there is absolutely 0 chance that I can make this in time and be competitive.
Good job with killing Watcher Knights, I guess.
I had dive. It's really not that difficult when you have dive, honestly.
I was going to snipe this.
Zeno had a bit of a rough time on a couple of the bosses.
Yeah, we can put it that way.
Yeah.
I got my nail too, and I was a bit sad when I went to Weird Den chest.
Yeah,
because I think I reset room like 3 times or 4 times because I couldn't do the latest climb to the chest itself.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, can you guess where? Did you find what copy of Dreammail did you find, Shaddy?
I found both. I found Grabsong, and another one was at I believe Quick Slash.
Oh
So
my
I had
God.
Dreamgate, and I was really like checking everything quickly. I checked the Soul Sanctum quickly. You sniped the grubs goal. I was really like chasing this one.
The 5 Seed of Tears grubs.
Yeah, and collector
Yeah.
one, like that was really close. Like I already started fighting him, and I had nail too, so it would be easier. For me,
Yeah,
I
after
guess.
I rescued Bird and Sly, I was thinking like your best options are 5 grubs in Seed of Tears and Collector, and I've already done a lot of progress on Seed of Tears grubs. The only reason I didn't get it earlier was because they required Mantis Claw, right?
Yeah,
And I killed Mantis Lords and never checked the chests, so
we
Yeah,
were
I found
wondering about that,
business.
Shaddy. When did you realize that you missed that? Missed
I
Mantis Lords?
I knew that I was missing Mantis Lords. I was just in rush with getting some easy goals.
Right.
So and there were like much random pickups. So I decided to do like it later when I have claw.
Hmm.
Also, I knew that claw isn't at Mantis Lords, and
Right,
there's no.
so yeah, you
That was like
kind of hope at that point that you can delay it a bit and make it a better return trip.
yeah. I think like I was a bit lucky with the seed itself because both claw and like dream nail were a bit buried. Also,
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
and I needed both of those to actually barely even get out of my row.
Yeah,
yeah,
Zeno had a really bad starting position because of where Claw was placed.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I could have had a dream nail probably like 10 to 20 minutes earlier because I was close to quick slash, right?
Yeah, and both of
And that,
you had the number of grubs you needed. It's
yeah, and then I
just,
kind of just healed.
getting along to those checks, and yeah, that was a sad moment when Zeno ran out of soul on the way to quick slash because he healed.
Yeah, because I was with like I think 2 HP, and I was thinking like this statue contains like a heal, and I thought I had like another spell stored in soul, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I hadn't benched there because I was thinking I was gonna save quit out to Kingdoms or King Station.
Yep. So that was a sad moment. What else?
yeah,
Well, the only
I could.
randomized thing we didn't find was Balder Shell.
Yeah.
That was at
Yeah,
Wings.
I was actually
Okay.
thinking, like when Shaddy wasn't marking a goal for so long, I was thinking like he's going for the randomized goal, and I can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, funnily enough, neither of you ever, doubled down on, the really far out checks like Abyss or Waterways or stuff like that. Because, Shaddy was getting grubs like you were and Dram Pass and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had quite static goals on like my side.
Yeah, I
Just
felt like I had a
lucky
lot of static goals
finding
too,
some
but
randomized thing.
at some point, Shaddy just took so many static goals that I had to go for randomized goals, and that was approximately the moment I knew I had lost. I was thinking at that point, how many goals can I get?
Right.
From
I
this
feel like that was a real aspect of this race where, I don't know, maybe even 45 minutes ago it became kind of clear that Shaddy had got an insurmountable board position, even if not an insurmountable lead. Because, like, you needed to find Crystal Heart immediately after Claw and, nail all these goals in a row.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
actually
really
think
hard.
like about the time where I was going to Kingdom's Edge, the first time when I didn't make it to Quick Slash,
Mhm.
I remember thinking like, if I don't find Dreamnail right now, I will not win this race. And I didn't find Dreamnail.
Yeah,
But then
needless
like
to say.
20 minutes later, I found Dreamnail, and I was like, if I'm a god right now, I might be able to pull something off. And I almost made a comeback, but not quite.
Any thoughts on your charm loadout for Collector?
I think the instant spit is bullshit. That's my thought on Collector.
I was really happy that you won using Hive Blood.
It wasn't just using High Blood. I played it like really defensively too.
Yeah, but definitely some real BS out of Collector you got.
Yeah, and the worst thing is like I had the have 2 payload goals, right? So I couldn't really go upgrade my nail.
Okay,
Right.
guys, I need to go to bathroom really badly.
Okay. Well, thanks
Alright.
for hanging out, Shaddy, and congrats on the win. And
Good race, man.
finishing out the tournament for you, actually. So yeah, we'll be wrapping this up too, since there is another race on the hour. But it's a lot of fun to commentate this one. A lot of interesting stuff happening. I don't know if you realize, but both of you missed bench flanking because of your early City of Deer dives.
Yeah, no, Shaddy mentioned that.
Yeah.
What exactly is the trigger for Zoe dying?
It will never be known.
Yeah, because that was really rough. I think like I even had a few moments where I got there and I just like shook my head in game.
Yeah.
I actually had a lot of moments where I was just standing around like, well, like what do I do now?
Right, I mean, when you lose those really nice early goals that you were counting on, it becomes hard to redo all of your routing around it.
Yeah, especially like if Shane Cloak had not been in the store, this would have been so much different because I'm fairly sure he had not made any progress towards the map pin, so I would have gotten that really fast.
Yeah.
But Shane Cloak was in the store.
Yep. So, what can you do? That's just Rando.
Yeah, I wonder if I had checked stores, would I have found it before him?
Yes, probably.
Probably.
Well, actually, no. Shaddy was the one who checked Soulcatcher, right? So.
Yeah, but Soulcatcher was not a cloak.
Soulcatcher was Geo though, so you might not have been able to afford it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You had no Geo going into Fungal, like 100 or
true.
so.
I
had about 200. I remember because I had 100 after I bought the shop.
Yeah, actually I couldn't buy. I didn't have enough money, because I bought the things.
The Shake Cloak.
Wait, Shaddy, how do you check Soulcatcher?
You shade skip.
Shade skip.
Oh, you did. Damn, you did the shade skip up. I thought that was really precise.
No.
No.
Oh, well, guess I'm just bad at the game.
Not with wings.
So, where bench flanking in Colosseum? In Colosseum 1 or Colosseum 2?
He's in Colosseum
1.
Oh, I was thinking doing Colosseum and sniping this, but I didn't remember on which it was, so I decided
it's really slow.
Go on.
Honestly, with your position, it was probably better to let me have it and go for other snipes, which you did.
I think if with my nail 2 and fragile strength, I would do Colosseum really fast.
Oh yeah, that's true. With upgraded nail, you'd probably do it a lot faster.
Yeah.
I gave up on having 2 payloads immediately. Decided that I need the power up to deal with bosses and stuff.
Alright then. So.
Yeah, alright. GG once again.
Yeah, good race, man.